Please subscribe before we start. In the glittering chaos of the Beijing Film Awards, under a cascade of blinding spotlights that turned the stage into a battlefield of unspoken truths, YangYang stood alone at the podium, his tailored black suit crisp against the weight of millions of eyes locked on him through live broadcasts. The crowd had expected the usual polished acceptance speech, gratitude for his latest blockbuster role, a nod to his CO stars, perhaps a humble mention of the journey that had catapulted him from rising talent to global icon. Instead, his voice cracked like thunder through the microphone, shattering the air with words no one saw coming. Tonight, as I hold this award for the performance that demanded every piece of my soul, I must also release something I've carried far too long in silence. Dilraba and I, we have decided to part ways. Our paths have diverged, and though this breaks what we built together, it is the only honest step forward. Gasps rippled through the auditorium like a tidal wave, phones lit up the darkness in a frenzy of notifications, and the internet ignited in real time. What had been whispered rumors for years, speculation about their on-set chemistry in that sweeping historical drama that had captured hearts worldwide, now exploded into confirmed reality. YangYang's decision to break up with Dilraba wasn't just a personal choice, it was a seismic shift that would redefine their legacies, their futures, and the very fabric of the entertainment world they both inhabited. To understand the full gravity of that moment, we must travel back through the intricate tapestry of their shared story, a narrative woven with ambition, passion, vulnerability, and the relentless pressures of fame that few outsiders could ever truly comprehend. It began not in the flash of red carpets or the frenzy of fan meetings, but in the quiet, grueling confines of a film set nestled in the misty mountains of ancient China, where the two first crossed paths during the production of The Eternal Oath. YangYang, then a rising star fresh off his breakthrough in military-themed blockbusters that had showcased his disciplined physique and intense gaze, was cast as the stoic warrior prince. Dilraba, already a luminous force known for her ethereal beauty and fierce portrayals of strong-willed heroines in fantasy epics, embodied the resilient princess whose spirit could bend empires. From their very first rehearsal, the chemistry was undeniable, not the manufactured spark of scripted lines, but something deeper, rooted in mutual respect for the craft. They spent endless hours perfecting scenes under harsh lights and unpredictable weather, sharing late-night discussions about character motivations over simple bowls of steaming noodles from the craft services table. YangYang admired Dilraba's unyielding work ethic, the way she could transform vulnerability into power on camera without a trace of hesitation. She, in turn, found solace in his quiet steadiness, a counterbalance to the whirlwind of her own high-octane career that often left her navigating cultural expectations and industry scrutiny alone. As filming progressed, their connection deepened beyond the professional. In the hidden corners of the set, away from prying eyes and the ever-present drone of cameras, they discovered shared dreams. Both yearned for roles that challenged stereotypes. Both carried the weight of representing their respective heritages with authenticity in an industry that demanded perfection. YangYang, who had risen through years of rigorous training in martial arts and acting academies, confided in her about the isolation of stardom, the endless auditions that tested his resolve, the family sacrifices that had shaped his unyielding drive. Dilraba, with her vibrant energy and roots that blended Uyghur heritage with mainstream Chinese cinema, spoke of the delicate balance she maintained between personal identity and public image, the subtle biases she had overcome to claim her place among the elite. These conversations evolved into stolen moments of laughter during breaks, where YangYang's rare, boyish smile would light up the tent, and Dilraba's infectious humor would dissolve the tension of 12-hour shoots. By the wrap party, what had started as collegial admiration had blossomed into something profound, though they kept it guarded, aware of the media storm that could follow any public hint. The years that followed tested and tempered their bond in ways that only those immersed in the relentless cycle of celebrity could understand. Their relationship remained largely private, international promotions, quiet dinners in secluded Beijing restaurants where bodyguards ensured privacy, and collaborative projects that allowed them to support one another's ambitions without fanfare. YangYang's career soared with lead roles in high-stakes action thrillers and romantic comedies that highlighted his versatility, while Dilraba commanded attention in empowering dramas and fashion campaigns that celebrated her elegance and strength. Together, they navigated the unspoken rules of their world, subtle gestures of support at industry events, like a knowing glance across a crowded gala or a shared producer credit on a passion project. Fans, ever perceptive, pieced together clues from social media posts, coordinated vacation timings, matching accessories and candid shots, the way their eyes lingered in joint interviews. Speculation mounted, fueled by tabloid headlines and online forums that dissected every frame of their work for signs of affection. Yet, through it all, they chose discretion, believing that protecting their connection from the glare of public opinion was the only way to let it grow. But fame, as YangYang would later reflect in that awards night confession, has a way of amplifying every fracture. The turning points were subtle at first, like the shifting sands of their demanding schedules. YangYang's commitments pulled him into back-to-back international productions, filming in remote locations across Europe and Southeast Asia, where time zones became barriers and exhaustion eroded the intimacy they once shared so effortlessly. Dilraba, meanwhile, poured herself into advocacy work and diverse roles that pushed boundaries, including projects that explored themes of cultural resilience and personal empowerment, endeavors that required her full emotional bandwidth and often kept her rooted in domestic studios. What began as supportive check-ins turned into hurried conversations laced with unspoken resentments, missed anniversaries marked by flowers delivered via assistants rather than personal visits, dreams discussed in passing rather than explored together. YangYang, ever the introspective one, began to question the sustainability of their path. In private reflections he would later share only with closest confidants, he grappled with the realization that while their love had been a beacon during his ascent, it had also become intertwined with the very pressures that defined his identity as an actor. He feared that continuing without addressing these imbalances would lead to a resentment neither deserved, a slow erosion of the respect that had first drawn them together. The decision, when it crystallized, was not born of scandal or betrayal, no dramatic third-party entanglements, no public feuds that could tarnish their reputations. Instead, it emerged from a series of candid, heart-wrenching discussions held in the privacy of YangYang's minimalist apartment overlooking the glittering skyline of Shanghai. One evening, after months of internal deliberation, he sat across from Dilraba, the city lights casting long shadows across the room. "We have built something extraordinary," he said, his voice steady yet laced with the raw emotion of finality, "but I see now that our individual journeys demand space to unfold fully. I cannot ask you to pause your fire for my battles, nor can I dim my own pursuits without losing the essence of who I am becoming." Dilraba, her eyes reflecting a mix of understanding and sorrow, nodded slowly, her own career reflections mirroring his. They spoke for hours that night, revisiting milestones, the laughter on set, the quiet vows exchanged during a hidden getaway in the mountains, the mutual encouragement that had propelled award nominations and box office triumphs. There were tears, of course, but also a profound sense of release, a mutual acknowledgement that ending their romantic chapter did not erase the profound impact they had on one another's lives. It was a breakup forged in maturity, not malice, a choice to honor the growth they had inspired in each other rather than cling to a version of love that no longer aligned with their evolving selves. In the immediate aftermath of YangYang's public announcement at the awards, the entertainment industry reeled in a way that few events could rival. Social media platforms buzzed with disbelief, hashtags like YangYang Dilraba breakup trending globally within minutes, amassing billions of views as fans from every corner of the world shared edited montages of their joint scenes, heartfelt tributes to the what could have been, and messages of support urging both stars to prioritize their well-being. Industry insiders, from directors who had collaborated with them to fellow actors who had witnessed their quiet bond, offered measured statements emphasizing respect for their privacy and admiration for their professionalism. One prominent producer, speaking anonymously to a major outlet, noted, "Their collaboration elevated projects to new heights, but true artistry often requires personal evolution. This is not an end, but a transition that will likely fuel even greater performances." Critics and analysts dissected the implications for their careers. YangYang's upcoming slate.
Please subscribe for more celebrity drama. Thank you.